Today on the channel, from the brand new McFarlane Toys Elite Collection, we got Spawn, the original, reignited.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, back again with another McFarlane Toys unboxing and review. And today on the channel, we got something extra special though. We're bringing it back to my childhood nostalgia as we got the Elite Collection McFarlane Toys Founder Series Spawn. But for all your Spawn Founder Series needs, you better head over to jaystoysandgames.com. Use discount code Kyle, save yourself 15%. Got to get a deal out there. And had to get a deal with this one, as this is pretty expensive, Todd McFarlane. I believe Walmart is at $50. I'm not sure if that's a mistake, but most retailers are around $60 for this guy. 60 bucks? That's a pretty steep hill to climb, as we do know the DC Collector's Edition figures are about 35. What makes this extra outside of a big box and maybe a fancy stand? I guess we'll find out, and the only way to find out is do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. Now, this is an Elite Collection, which I guess is the top tier. You get the regular collection, I guess we'll call it. Then you get the Collector's Edition figures. And then now you get the Elite Collection stair-step model. Now, this should be pretty primo at the price point. And by looks of things, might fall a little short. I could see $35, maybe $40. But 60 is a pretty tough get here, but we're going to see what happens. And you guys know I love the early days of Spawn, especially the toy line and the comic book. I was all in. I was all Team Image. I was a little kid at the time, and I loved to have options outside of DC and Marvel. And I got to say, I was always a Marvel kid as far as my comic book collecting. I would say Image was number 2 with Spawn and Savage Dragon and the Wildcats and a few other titles. I always enjoyed those. And then the toy line, some of the greatest memories of my life, my dad and I hitting stores looking for all the different Spawn figures and all the variants. You know, you get the hamburger head Spawn, which we get a little bit of a touch in here. And there would be like the gold Spawn, the silver Spawn, the platinum Spawn, the Violator, the different color combinations. We were all into it. My dad was getting his starting lineups. I was getting my Spawn figures, McFarlane figures of all kinds. I was getting my Marvel Toy Biz figures, and obviously the wrestling figures a little bit around there until those no good Titantron Live and R3 figures were around. I didn't want any part of those. But a lot of fun memories wrapped up into Spawn number 1, which this represents, so I'm happy to get this one here. Now, there was Kickstarter Spawn figures, which I never jumped in on those Kickstarter figures. So I can see somebody saying, well, why did I spend $100+ on one of those when I could have had something like this? Obviously, those got a little bit more going for them. But at the end of the day, I could see saying, hey, this is perfectly acceptable. So we'll see. Enough jibber jabber. Let's get down to it. We're in the box with these ones here. Now, I think I saw something called Diablo. I think that's a video game, if I'm not mistaken. They have Elite Collection figures, and doesn't Fallout, another video game, have Elite Collection? So it's a new tier for McFarlane Toys. I tell you, I'm very excited about the Savage Dragon. I loved early Savage Dragon, the Playmates figures, the cartoon, the comic book, obviously. I was all in, lost my way many, many years ago with Savage Dragon, but I really love that early Savage Dragon stuff, so I can't wait for the day that one does come out. But this does look good in the package. That's that classic Spawn logo. We got the Elite Collection, McFarlane. A lot going on in the packaging right here. Spawn logo at the top as well. On the side, there he is, old Spawn, and then letting you know, Elite Edition right here, Spawn logo at the top. And there it is, like Spawn number 1 once again. Never forget your first. I was all in on that. So let's do it, though. Let's see what's going on. See what all the fuss is about with this one here. We do got a cape. You know I'm here for a soft goods cape. Man, tough to get out of the package, but there it is. See you later, goodbye. Get a little stand here, and it's not just your average McFarlane stand with this one. This is looks like a little bit of a rock stand is what it looks like. And then we do got 2 cards. I'm not sure what's going on with these cards, but we're going to find out. Once again, see you later, goodbye. Whoa, watch out for that. So we do get the card, and then we get a lottery ticket is what that is. See you later, goodbye. Yikes, knocking stuff over, watch out. We do get this stand. I'm not sure. For some reason, I felt like these are going to connect. They're going to get one with every single one. You'll be able to connect them. And you can have the Savage Dragon and Youngblood and whatever. Shadowhawk. You can put all of them together. That might be the thing. Maybe it's not. I can't remember. It says Elite Edition 50 points. Elite McFarlane Reward. Scratch to get your code. Redeem code. Viewpoint history. So is this the same points for the McFarlane Toy Store? Todd McFarlane, you're not sure? You're scratchy. Todd's doing one of these. He's not sure, but he's doing it with his big toes. That's amazing flexibility over there. I don't know. I would assume, but we know what happens when we assume, but I think this goes towards your reward points. I've been putting those in, or I hadn't been putting those in, had a stack of those cards, put them all in, and I got so many points. It's unbelievable. And I guess I get to add 50 points to that right now. I'm here for that. Why not? Why not? Now, we do get the card with this one. Todd McFarlane, president on the back. Classic image back here. Todd McFarlane is a visionary artist, writer, and entrepreneur who transformed bold creativity into global entertainment empire. He redefined Marvel's Spider-Man and co-created Venom before launching Spawn, the record-breaking independent comic that became an Emmy-winning series, feature film, and worldwide brand. As co-founder and president of Image Comics, McFarlane helped establish the third largest comic publisher in North America. He also founded McFarlane Toys, now one of the world's top action figure companies with over 150 major licenses, including Fortnite. Is that true? His creative ventures have earned nearly 100 awards, including Emmys, Grammys, MTV Music Awards, and his next chapter is directing a new R-rated Spawn film produced by Blumhouse and starring Jamie Foxx and Jeremy Renner. Wasn't even aware of that. You've been busy. You're always on the couch. You think you would have told me that, but you think I could get a guest walk-on spot in that movie somewhere? I could just be a guy in the background, or I could be a leading man. Your choice. I don't care. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it after this. All right. Well, maybe you'll see me in this Spawn movie coming up. I'm not sold on Jamie Foxx, though. Not sold on that one. Where's Michael B. Jordan? That's who we need. Get him in there. How about that? But there's old Spawn looking good. I don't know. Or go a different take. Let's have Boss Rutan as Spawn. Could we do that? I would be here for that as well. Boss Rutan, an all-timer. All right, we got twist ties. You can't spell McFarlane without twist ties. We learned that throughout 2025 and into 2026, and who are we fooling? 2024, 2023, and so on. Twist ties all over the place, but I do like the hallmarks of the old Spawn with this one, especially the inclusion of the hamburger head Spawn, as he was affectionately known as once upon a time. I remember just hearing about that and thinking it was a rumor. Somebody at a comic book shop said, oh yeah, that's out there, I saw it. And I'm like, that guy's lying, there's no way. And then lo and behold, what do we see? We see a hamburger head. My goodness, how many twist ties and stuff do we got? I'm going to take this offline. I'm going to get all this out of the package. We'll be back talking all things hamburger head and regular Spawn Elite Collection. All right, we got the Elite Collection Spawn out of the package. Let's dive into the accessories, see what's going on. And we're going to start with the iconic weapon right here. You've heard of a board with a nail in it from The Simpsons. Is that where you got that from? But we do got a board with basically a nail in it, a spike in it. Quite the medieval style weapon here. This is for the guy that's out on the streets that needs to make use of something. Like a guy in prison making a shiv or something. Did I ever tell you guys about my time in Oz? Yeah, I think I told that story a time or two. Me at a BC Beacher. Oh, it was a whole thing. It was a whole thing. It was quite the documentary, though. They put it on HBO. You might want to saw it. I'll never forget the time Peter Criss was in jail with me. That was a wild time, too. But check out Oz. That's a real one. But this looks like a weapon somebody'd make in Oz once upon a time. How about some extra hands here? We got the splayed out hand looking pretty darn good. I got a little bit of a gripping hand there. We get a trigger hand here. No guns with this Spawn. And then we got a way splayed out hand, crazy hand here, all in red, costume Spawn head. Some necroplasm here, some ecto, yeah, maybe. But we got some of that going on here, ready to go. We've seen this a hallmark with Spawn, as we do know. Nice little dirty wash against it. Almost looks like something else, almost does. But a little effect piece isn't a bad deal. And then we do get these chains. And where do these chains plug in? Take these chains out of my heart, Rob Halford style. It looks like they plug into the back here. So I'm assuming, we know what happens when you assume. Once again, you plug this in the back and then you wrap these around his hands or whatever you want to do. Is what it is. I guess technically you could leave them off as well. Choose your own adventure there, but we do got real chains here for Spawn. I like that the chains are real, not plastic. They feel very good quality. Obviously, that's probably part of the price point. It's all about justification, I'm sure. But now we're going to dive into Spawn. Let's start with the head sculpt on this one. This is a little wild here. But all day long, I know this is Spawn. You got those green eyes back there, just the iconic Spawn face. There's not a ton to it, but it's extremely iconic. Love the looks of that one there. So really no issues with the head on this Spawn figure here. Now the second head, I don't think I'm going to display it this way, but man, oh man, is this an amazing, amazing piece of business. Like I said, I'll never forget the guy at the comic book store saying, there's a hamburger head. And I'm like, didn't believe it. And then when we finally saw it, we found it. It felt like you struck gold, but just absolutely amazing here. Now, I can't remember what came first. Was it the chicken or the egg? But I remember Deadpool, of course, from Marvel, having a very similar head when he takes his mask off. So which one was first? Spawn? I think Deadpool was before Spawn, but did we see the hamburger head Deadpool before we saw Spawn? It had to have been in the same time frame. We even got the Toy Biz Deadpool Part 2 that had the hamburger head once upon a time, very similar to this. But always did love this Spawn head, extra nightmare fuel there. Obviously, this is the most iconic, but this is very iconic in its own special way. And we're all special, and you're all unique in your own special way, just like everybody else. We know how that goes, too. Diving into this one a little bit more, we do got the cape going on. So we got the huge collar. Are we ever going to see a bigger collar from this? This guy wants to go to the front of the line at Club Grayskull. He is rocking that collar like nothing I've ever seen in my entire life. You got the hood as well in the back. Now the hood seems to be stitched together to the cape. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Is it supposed to be that way? I assume it's supposed to be. So we do got that. We do got wire in the cape, which is nice to see. A figure of this price point, we should have wire in it. Would have liked to seen a little thicker material in the cape. We've seen McFarlane use thicker material on Superman. They could have easily done that for here. Once again, with the price point, you got to say, hey, what's going on? So I would have liked to seen that. Very thin cape here. Now we do got some of the torn and tatteredness down here. Still not very good though. There's should be more holes in this, like Ragman. You guys remember Ragman from the DC Collector's Edition? That was like a $30 toy at the time. That had a better cape on it than this one. So that is a little strange to me. It gets the job done, but if we're going Elite Collection, it's got to be next level there. So a little crazy, but it's wild. But it does got the connector piece there with the skulls and the plastic chain right there in between. So that does look good. In plastic, I think that works fine for the clasp on the cape. Cape is not removable for those asking. Yeah, somebody was going to ask it, I know. Looking very good in the body. This is kind of the size, I think, of Spawn. He's been different sizes, but this is pretty much your meat and potato Spawn of what you think of. Real chains down here with the belt, with the skull once again. Arm bracer, got that going on in the bicep with the spikes on it. A guy that loves spikes, like young Rob Halford. Got the spikes on the hands once again, or at least one of the hands here. Very iconic colorways, color pattern on this. We know that. He's got his little bags here sculpted in around the thigh. And then you got the big spike down there on the leg. Very iconic to Spawn once again. Arms do go all the way around. You get butterfly shoulders, bicep cut. Double jointed, pinned elbows, pinned. Hands removable back forth side to side. Hula hoop up top plus traditional waist. Got those Spawn splits ready to go. Goes up for the big boot. Double jointed pin knees. Ankles back forth side to side, up and down, and toe articulation. So honestly, this is the exact same McFarlane articulation we're used to with their DC figures, Spawn figures, etc. So there's no new ground broken here. Once again, I keep harping on the price point. If it's that much more expensive, what is it we're getting extra? We got 50 points. That's nice. We get this different stand. That's okay. Maybe some real chain accessories. But you could make the argument that we've had collector's edition figures at 35 price point with this amount of head and extra accessories there as well. I don't know. It's the Elite collection, so it's got to feel Elite, and it feels collector's edition to me. But that being said, I like this. This is nostalgic. I like the idea of this. I just really do not like the price point. And I'm not one of those guys that said this should be a $20 figure. I get it. I understand what's going on, but to me, this should be maybe $35.99, $39.99, somewhere in that window. It's a little steep. It's a little stiff. It's a little stiff on the chin is what this one is here. But that being said, once again, this is very iconic to me. If you were of the Spawn generation, Spawn's still going now. But Spawn 1 was a huge deal at the old comic shops once upon a time. He does fit on this stand, which honestly he should. Would have loved to seen pinless joints on this. That would have, and then I would have said, man, why did they charge $100 for this? Pinless joints? Oh my gosh. But it is fun for what it is. but it's not very fun in the price point department. So it'll be interesting to see, will this go on sale down the line? Are they making a ton of these? Could this be a little bit more limited edition and that affected the price point, the production run? A lot of unanswered questions, and I guess we'll get more of those answers as this line continues to grow. But I do feel that as much as I enjoy a Savage Dragon and want a Savage Dragon figure, are there that many people out there? Spawn, there's the Spawn fans. Spawn's still a deep cut if you compare him to Superman, Batman, Spider-Man, let's be honest. How many fans are going to go that extra step for a $60 Savage Dragon? Not exactly sure, but that being said, we don't get a ton of Savage Dragon figures, so people might jump in on that. So a lot of unanswered questions, but this is the start of something. We'll see where it goes, and we'll follow it on the channel. You guys know we will, but I am happy with this. All that being said, because of the nostalgia factor of this one, I would love to have two of them to display each head. Not in the cards at this price point, unfortunately, but if there's a deal one day, I'll swoop in and gotta get a deal. We know how that goes, but there it is. Spawn, the Elite Collector's Edition. What do you guys think? You picking it up? Passing? Hard pass? I will say, I think maybe my favorite Spawn figure of the last couple of years, 5 years, could be the Mortal Kombat line Spawn. I wish that had a soft cape, but I really enjoyed that figure a lot. So, I don't know. You got to vote with your wallet at the end of the day. But let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the old notification bell. We got videos every single day and then some. And of course, you guys know we got videos over on Patreon, YouTube channel memberships. Your best way to support the channel. SirPaul64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, Instagram, TikTok, and the Kyle Peterson Show at gmail.com, which is also the name of my podcast, Kyle Peterson Show, available every single Tuesday wherever podcasts are found with videocast on YouTube. So for Spawn, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.
Well, are we gonna dance or are we gonna play?